Rachel Levine is a biological man who has lived life as a biological man, married, kids, the whole thing, and then at some point, fairly recently decided, I'm a woman, dressing as a woman, fine. But you have to call me a woman or else you're a hater. Not fine. In October, because almost everything that's happening at this point is almost beyond parody, on the basis of that claim, I'm a woman, but of course not a woman, Joe Biden made Rachel Levine an admiral in something called the Public Health Service. Watch.
I am honored to serve as the first female four-star officer of the U.S. Public Health Service Commissioned Corps.
Okay, so you're not a female. You know, no one wants to attack you for that. It's totally fine. But when you get up on stage and say something that everyone knows is untrue and then demand that we believe it, you degrade the rest of us. It's outrageous, actually. And not everyone wants to play along. So this person is now an admiral. To memorialize the moment, the Babylon Bee named Rachel Levin their Man of the Year. It's a joke, but it's kind of true. In response to this, Twitter, on which no jokes are allowed, suspended Babylon Bee for hate speech. So per Twitter policy, when a man calls himself a woman, you have to pretend that person is telling the truth. The whole point of this is to get you to submit. They don't care whether Rachel Levine's a man or a woman. They care about humiliating you and making you accept what you know is not true. It's fascinating to watch it. As Jim Treacher put it today in his brilliant Substack, quote, "We finally figured out how to trick feminists into defending men." It's just so smart. Anyway, to its credit, the Babylon Bee is not backing down. Seth Dillon is the hero CEO of the Babylon Bee, and we're happy to have him join us tonight. Seth, they're demanding that, I mean, this is part of your business, I should say. It's not like most people tweeting. This is like important that you can get your stuff out by Twitter. They're going to keep it down until you delete the tweet, are you?
No, we're not. I mean, it's like asking us to say that 2 and 2 make 5. And
right.
So we're sitting there looking at this email that tells us in order to reinstate our account and get access to be able to tweet again, we've got to delete this tweet. And the tweet's a joke. That's the first thing to get straight here is this is satire. It's just a joke. It's pretty harmless. And it's certainly not hurting anybody. And this is a public official. You know, it's not like we're like punching down at some downtrodden person. So, you know, it's just a joke, and they're asking us to basically bend the knee and say, we admit that this is hateful conduct, please keep us on your platform. And we're not going to do that. And so we don't know where this ends. You know, there's an appeal process that we can go through, but we're not going to delete the tweet.
I hope it ends with Twitter being shut down by Congress, but that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. Has it occurred to you that, you know, some Soros-backed NGO can accuse you of treason against your own country and being a Putin supporter, which is a death penalty offense, and that's totally fine on Twitter, but if you make fun of Rachel Levine's ludicrous claim that he's a woman, then you're a hater? Like, how does this work? What are the standards here?
There are no standards. At least they're not applied evenly, right? They're applied very unevenly. But this is the problem with comedy right now is that what our job is supposed to be, like satirists, comedians, and general humorists, our job is supposed to be to poke holes in the popular narrative. I mean, that's what we do. And we're being restricted from doing that. They're literally making these rules and rigging this system where you can't actually poke holes in the popular narrative. You have to promote the popular narrative. And so comedy it's being rendered ineffective, where they're basically making rules about what you can and can't joke about, to the point where we're saying, well, we're going to continue to make these jokes, and if we have to, we'll do it off Twitter.
They're pretty fragile, no? If you can't joke about some dude pretending to be a female admiral, then, like, what can you joke about?
I mean, yeah, it's just not. It's one of these things where it's like I said, you know, the 2 + 2 = 5 thing. It's most people see this for what it is, and it's one of these things where I think the majority of Americans are really on our side in this issue. It's not like we're some fringe group that has some outrageous idea that nobody accepts. You know, this is the case where somebody is telling us, look, the word was even used female. Like, female is a reference to your biological sex. That's not true. So we don't believe that facts are hate speech, that speaking truth is hate speech. So we're willing to stay. At some point, people have to stick by this, Tucker. People have to be willing to say, listen, if they want us to deny the truth in order to stay on this platform, then we speak the truth. Make them kick you off, you know, like make them boot you.
Bless you. No, it's their ideas that are fringe and dangerous and crazy and the historians will be shocked by, not yours at all. Seth Dillon, I appreciate your stand and what you've done and your site, which is great. Thank you.
Thank you.